It is time now for Better Money, and we just heard that more than 3 million Americans retired early because of the COVID-19 crisis. So what do people thinking of joining the Great American Resignation need to consider? Joel Johnson, a certified financial planner and managing partner at Johnson Brunetti Retirement and Investment Specialist, is here now with some answers. Yeah, a lot of people saying, bye-bye, no more meetings for me.
We have never seen this before. It's unbelievable.
Where'd they all go? Where are they all getting the money?
People, yeah, that's a good question. But people have just reconsidered their whole relationship with their work, and it's incredible. And this isn't just people close to retirement. I mean, this is across the spectrum.
Yeah.
All these companies are having trouble hiring, whether it's young or middle-aged. And
Yeah.
a lot of people have just said, you know what, I'm going to retire. I can. It's not worth it anymore. They're realizing, I think, that their stress level is so much lower. When they got
take
to
something
not,
out,
yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it really has made people reevaluate. So if you want to join the Great Resignation and you're not like just looking for another job, then you have to do some things. And you say, number one, we need to examine your current savings.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he owns a business also, and he was saying, I know a lot of these people just don't have a lot of savings, so they're going to be forced to go back to work when they ring up their credit cards, which is not good. So if you want to, look at participating in this Great Resignation, or we'll call it early retirement, you really got to look at your savings. You've got to make sure that you've got enough savings, not just long-term investments, but also short-term savings, so you can get by with some of those emergencies that are going to come up that maybe didn't come up when you were working because you just had the cash flow to take care of them.
Right. And so part of that would be reviewing your benefits, I guess, and that would matter your age, but Social Security, healthcare options. A lot of people keep working because of the healthcare, right?
The healthcare is a big deal. A lot of people now, especially before the Affordable Care Act, people would be able to retire at 62 financially, but they would keep working because health insurance didn't kick in or Medicare didn't kick in until 65. Now we've got the Affordable Health Care Act, so you can buy something. Nobody can turn you down from buying through the exchanges, but you've still got to make sure you can afford that premium because it's almost always more than what you paid for. Social Security, when should you trigger Social Security? Should you trigger it now? Should you wait if you're eligible for it now? How does that factor in? So a lot of things have to be examined. You can't just say, well, I've got enough money. There are a lot of ongoing bills that have to be paid, not just out of your retirement savings, but things like health insurance that might kick in.
So, and then you have to decide what to do with your 401k.
Right, 401k, any other savings, what are you going to do now? And a lot of people don't realize for every year you work, it cuts 2 years off your retirement. So what that means is that if my life expectancy is 80 and I'm going to retire at age 65, I have 15 years of retirement. If I work till 66, now all of a sudden I've grown my savings for an extra year, and I have one less year in retirement, so I've cut 2 years off. So for every year you retire early, you sort of lose 2 years. It's kind of confusing to explain, but you've really got to watch it. You can't just rely on the old calculations.
So, and then you determine if you can afford to retire. How do you know if you can afford to retire?
You've got to run a financial calculation. You've got to go, and maybe you need financial help, maybe you don't, maybe you need professional help, but you've got to do a projection based on life expectancy, how much income you want, especially inflation. Inflation's kicking back in big time, so you've got to run one of these projections that gives you an idea of what rate of return do you need on your savings. Am I going to run out of money before I die? It's really, really important to redo all those plans you had if you've now retired early.
Okay, so depending on how old you are you resigning for now, or are you going to go back to work? But for more information and to be at least asking what you should be doing, you have a free offer, and you can get this free offer by going to visit Better Money. Just visit BetterMoneyTV.com. It's forced to retire. You may not be forced to retire. It may be that you want to retire, but the information is the same.
Yeah, it's got a checklist in it, so you can go through all the things that you need to answer, the information you need to know about before you make this a permanent decision.
All right, there you go. And you can also ask Joel some questions while you're there, and you and your team will always answer them.
We love answering every one of our email questions from our viewers. They're a lot of fun, and we get to connect.
All right, see if you've got the money to join the resignation.